Once upon a chilling autumn evening, in the heart of a sprawling vineyard, nestled at the edge of a small town, there lived a 62-year-old woman named Martha. Widowed and living alone in a creaky old farmhouse, Martha had spent most of her life tending to the lush grapevines that stretched across the estate. On this particular night, as the moon hung ominously overhead, Martha found herself overwhelmed by a foreboding sense of unease. The vineyard, typically a place of solace, had transformed into an eerie labyrinth, its gnarled branches casting elongated shadows that danced menacingly on the ground. Desperate for distraction, Martha decided to take a drive in her weathered old car. The vehicle, once her late husband's prized possession, had seen better days, but it remained her trusted companion. She pulled on her coat, grabbed her keys, and ventured into the night, leaving the safety of her farmhouse behind. As Martha drove along the winding roads, the air grew colder and a thick fog enveloped the landscape. The headlights of her car cut through the mist, revealing fleeting glimpses of the surrounding vineyards. It was then that she noticed a figure standing at the edge of the road. Startled, Martha slowed down, her heart pounding. The silhouette appeared to be that of a young woman, dressed in a flowing white gown. A sense of empathy washed over Martha, compelling her to offer assistance. Rolling down her window, Martha called out, "Are you all right? Do you need a ride?" The figure turned towards her, but its face remained obscured in darkness. A chilling silence hung in the air, broken only by the rustling of leaves. With an eerie, almost supernatural grace, the woman began to approach the car. Each step seemed to take her closer, but the distance between them never diminished. Martha's hands clenched the steering wheel, her heart racing faster with each passing second. Suddenly, a frigid gust of wind whipped through the open car window, causing Martha's breath to hitch. Her eyes widened in horror as she finally caught sight of the woman's face, a face frozen in a mask of terror, with hollow eyes that seemed to stare into the abyss. In that harrowing moment, the vineyard around them came alive. Vines slithered and twisted like serpents, their thorny tendrils snaking towards the car. The once beautiful landscape transformed into a sinister entity, intent on ensnaring its unsuspecting victims. Martha's car jerked forward, its tires spinning futilely against the encroaching vines. Panic surged through her veins as she desperately fought against the suffocating foliage. The vines tightened their grip, crawling through the open windows, binding Martha in their malevolent embrace. With the last ounce of her strength, Martha fumbled for her cell phone and dialed 911. Her trembling voice pleaded for help as the vineyard closed in around her, threatening to consume her entirely. Minutes passed like an eternity until the sound of sirens pierced the night. The flashing lights of emergency vehicles illuminated the vineyard, dispersing the darkness that had shrouded Martha. Rescue workers arrived, armed with machetes and sheer determination. With swift precision, they cut through the tangled mess of vines, freeing Martha from her entrapment. Exhausted but relieved, she was pulled to safety, away from the clutches of the vineyard's evil grasp. As Martha was escorted to safety, she couldn't help but glance back at the vineyard, now restored to its tranquil beauty. But deep down, she knew it held secrets and a darkness that could never be forgotten.